Gerrit Cole, if the Yankees lose Gerrit Cole, it's a huge loss. And I don't know if there is a player or a pitcher on this roster that can take over and be the number one guy. Marcus Stroman was really, in the first half of the Cubs season last year, the number one guy for the Chicago Cubs. But the Yankees didn't bring him to pitch 6.5 innings. They brought him in, and they came out and said that they want him to pitch 5 good innings every single start. And he was going to pitch every 5th day. So Marcus Stroman is not the guy. Carlos Rodon right now in spring training is throwing 91-mile-per-hour fastballs. 91-mile-per-hour fastballs. That's not going to last. And he doesn't have the off-speed pitching that you see Jacob deGrom have, or one of those top-end pitchers, or even a Justin Verlander. They need something set up. They need a second plan where they're going to go after a Blake Snell. Now, Blake Snell's still available. He is still available. Now, Blake Snell, I know everybody's going to say Blake Snell isn't Gerrit Cole. We all know Blake Snell isn't Gerrit Cole. But Blake Snell has pitched in the American League East. He has pitched in Yankee Stadium. It's pitched very well in Yankee Stadium. He played for Tampa. He understands how to pitch in a division that has a lot of power and a lot of good talent. When you have Aaron Judge, you have Juan Soto, and Giancarlo Stanton. You have 3 guys that could hit 40 or more home runs and hit over 100 RBIs, if healthy. Giancarlo losing almost 20 pounds of muscle, 20 pounds of weight this offseason, so he could take some of that weight off his limbs that he's had problems with over the last couple of years. He couldn't stay healthy. The Yankees believed that he was going to have a breakout season. And Volpe winning a Gold Glove and stealing, over 30 bases last year, maybe batting 1, with a lineup with Volpe, Judge, Soto, Giancarlo, and Verdugo, or maybe a Rizzo, or whatever they're going to do, and then a Torres. This is one of the best offenses in the American League. But you sit here right now, and you look at the pitching, there's a lot of questions in this rotation. A lot of questions. And right now, Carlos Rodon went from the number 2 to the number 1. Nestor Cortez, who is coming off an injury, went from number 3 to number 2. And Marcus Stroman went from 4 to number 3. And this rotation is a shell of what they thought it was going to be with Gerrit Cole. And some of the stories were coming out in the middle of the offseason is they were going to bring in Blake Snell. If Blake Snell was going to take a Carlos Rodon contract, they were going to bring him in. But Blake Snell thought he was worth $270 million.
And now Blake Snell's a favorite to go to the Angels, apparently. And now he might have to reconsider that. The Yankees are going to have to reconsider that because they don't really have a true innings eater. As good as Stroman has been, he's not like a guy that goes long into games either. And not same kind of thing with Cortez. He did that the one season, the All-Star season, but that was really it. And Carlos Rodon, he still has to prove himself. And like you said, lost velocity. And the Yankees also have to be very careful, too, because they've had these issues with these arm injuries with pitchers recently. You saw it happen with Frankie Montes. You saw that happen with Luis Severino. And they have to make that decision big time with Gerrit Cole, because Gerrit Cole is light years ahead of where those guys are and so valuable to this team. And for $36 million a year, you would have to think no matter how long he miss, unless he has the season he had last year, he's going to opt into that contract. So the Yankees have a lot of value that they're going to have to take on. And it's a tough dilemma because, like you said, Soto's there and they're going to have to bring him back too. And they're going to have to sway him.
All right, Regazzo was on our show and he's a Yankee writer. And I disagree with him, but he said that the Yankees will win between 90 and 92 games, and they would be a wild card team. I think the Yankees are a little bit better than that. Now, without Gerrit Cole, I think they win 88, 89 games if he doesn't play this season, and they're a borderline wild card team. And the problem is right now is you need that number one guy. You need the guy that on every 5th day is going to shut down every team's top hitters. They don't have that anymore. And listen, they gave Carlos Rodon a lot of money. They gave him a lot of money last year, and he was not healthy. His shoulder problems definitely affected him. There was no question he wasn't the same pitcher. So, and he had one of the best fastballs in baseball, one of the best four-seam fastballs in all of baseball. And now he can't throw a four-seamer. So what are the Yankees going to do? He's not an off-speed pitcher. He needs to learn how to be a pitcher if he doesn't have the power. And that's the problem, teaching a pitcher. Look at CC Sabathia. Look how long it took CC Sabathia to become a pitcher. He had to learn to cut fastball, which he learned from Mo. He had to learn how to throw a changeup, which he learned from Andy Pettit.
Hey, I was doing research today, guys, that Luis Gil, yes, that Luis Gil, who pitched a handful of games for us a couple of years ago before his elbow exploded, he is hitting around 98, 99 and struck out 8 Phillies with most of their lineup. Maybe he's the guy to step in for a month or two if Cole is down. But besides that, it's slim pickings, fellas. They've got really nothing else going in the minors right now that's ready.
Obviously, with the minors, everybody says, well, what do the Yankees have in the minors? They traded away a lot of their pitching going after Juan Soto. They rented Juan Soto. They gave up King, who would have been a part of this rotation, might have been their second guy in their rotation this coming year. And now he's pitching for the Padres. And now you have Dylan Cease, who's over there now. So their rotation's pretty damn good. And then you sit here and you wonder, where could the Yankees go? Is there any free agents out there that the Yankees could bring in that could help them automatically? And there really isn't. The only pitcher that would have helped them out significantly is Blake Snell. He is the only one. And we all know Jordan Montgomery will not come back to the New York Yankees after what the Yankees did to him 2 seasons ago. So he's not going back to the Yankees. I'm sorry for all the Yankee fans that believe that they could bring back a guy like Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery already came out and said that he has no interest in going back to the New York Yankees. He's probably going to sign a 1-year deal with Texas. And he's going to try to win another World Series. No team is going to trade any of their good pitchers right now. Nobody. And that's the fact. And the Yankees are in a position right now where they're really nitpicking and they're picking for berries or picking, dodging apples. Because that's all they're going to be able to do. Speedy likes to dodge apples.
No, but the Dodgers like to defer money. Maybe the Yankees have to try that sometime.
What do you mean? How are they going to defer money? They can't,
that was a joke. They can't do it now.
They can't do it right now because there's nobody available.
Yep.
Blake Snell, maybe. They could defer his money.
Yep.
But Blake Snell, now you're hearing stories that Blake Snell is possibly going to the Angels. So that's out of the picture too. So, and there's no other teams right now that are willing to trade with the Yankees before the season started. So the Yankees are screwed. They're going to have to ride with this rotation and hope for the best.
So John Heyman said he was grasping for straws. He thinks that the Reds might trade Michael Lorenzen. And
they're not going to trade him right now. They're not going to trade him right now.
That was the only guy he could even think of. And it doesn't matter because how is Michael Lorenzen putting up 5+ WAR like Gerrit Cole did? That's 5 games he's worth. You said that they'd only win 89 to, compared to the Ragazzo's estimate of 92. That's 3 WAR. He's 5.2 WAR last year in the Cy Young. Say he gets just around 5. They need to find 5 more wins, not 3 without Cole. A guy like Lorenzen would just be replacement level anyway, around 0 or 1 WAR. They're not getting those wins back if he's hurt for the season. It's a wrap of the division, maybe the wild card.
And now the Yankees are put in a really bad position. That doesn't mean that the Yankees aren't going to get a guy like Gerrit Cole back, but you're hearing 1 to 2 months. That means he won't be back probably until June or July. And you're in the middle of the season. You're right there at the All-Star break. So maybe you should push him off until the end of the All-Star break. Don't take any chances with Gerrit Cole because, again, this might be the last year that Gerrit Cole is going to be on your roster because he could opt out of his contract. And again, Gerrit Cole's going to protect himself because he is probably going to ask for more money at the end of the season. If he pitches like 11 or 12 starts and he wins 7 or 8 games, he's going to tell everybody, well, I can still pitch. I'm still the dominant pitcher I was last year. I had problems with my elbow this offseason, but I feel good. Look at Carlos Rodon. Carlos Rodon, before he had that contract with the Yankees, he had problems with his shoulders. The Yankees didn't know about it. This has been a problem for the New York Yankees. They bring in players, they don't realize or they don't use their doctors right, and they bring them in, they make these trades, and it doesn't work. And this is a big problem for the Yankees because you're spending all this money on these pitchers. AK right now, the Carlos Rodon situation. Carlos Rodon is making $27 million a year. He signed a 6-year contract. There is no opt-out clause in the contract. I don't think there is. So you have Carlos Rodon 5 more years, and you don't know if you're going to have the best of Carlos Rodon. That's a big problem.